A fresh dose of tech news and insight. This is breaking news on Eagle Eyes on Tech. Massive layoffs at Microsoft. It is Thursday, July 3rd, 2025. This is Eagle Eyes on Tech. I'm Eagle Falcon. Microsoft has laid off more people, but everything's fine. Everything is so fine. Like, this is what drives people insane, all right? This is what actually drives people nuts. All right. Company goes out, tells everyone everything's fine, everything's perfect, everything is great, fantastic, and then they go lay off 9,000 people. You'd think I'm kidding, but this is literally the order they went. They went out and said to their shareholders, everything is perfectly fine. We are doubling down on all of our innovations in the AI space, and everything's going great and fantastic, but we're going to lay off 9,000 people, mostly in the Xbox space. You know, the space that is definitely doing great. Definitely not having any problems. Now, everything's fine there too. Why would you think it's not? It's fine. Totally fine. So yeah, the major purpose of the layoffs is the fact that it's mostly impacting the Xbox division, sales team, and the software engineering roles. So sales team, you know, whatever. It's sales is kind of sales teams are kind of one of those weird things, especially when you're Microsoft. Everything kind of just sells itself almost. So I kind of get why layoffs in the sales team, it's not as necessary to convince people to go to Windows, although you might need to start convincing more people. The Xbox division, I'm shocked but not surprised. Microsoft has done tons of studio buying. They have incorporated a lot of studios into their portfolio and been pumping out tons upon tons upon tons of games. So it's not too surprising the Xbox division took a hit, but the hit is massive. I do mean massive. And the software engineering roles, I don't get what's going on there. It might just be, it might not be worth it to even look into the software engineering roles. It could be that just those people are just past their I don't know, who knows. But the big thing is the Xbox team, because the layoffs in the Xbox team are extremely noticeable because games are reportedly being canceled left and right. In fact, if you want to know just how bad it is, here's how bad it is. Everwild is canceled. Don't know what Everwild is? It's an MMO that Rare was working on. I think it was even teased at the Game Awards. Dead. Gone. Poof. Vanished. Remember the Perfect Dark remake that was being teased? Gone. Just like that. Which is a shame, because of all the things that actually look kind of interesting. The Perfect Dark remake, man, I'm looking forward to that more than I am the next Call of Duty. That's for blasted sure. Call of Duty just be the same regurgitated nonsense again and again and again. Nah. That's gone now. There's concerns that Bloodlines 2 may not get released. As words are, that studio is being hit massively. Another bit of concern is the studio People Can Fly. I don't know why DualShocker says that People Can Fly cancels the Square Enix project. That's not the name of the project. The project is Gemini and Bifrost, and the studio is People Can Fly. It has nothing to do with Square Enix. But those two projects, dead. So I gotta ask, we're now less than a month removed from the big Xbox showcase of the year. We're now just about a month away, or just about a month after the whole E3 hype cycle, even though there's no E3, but it's still kind of that time period. I guess we can call it the Summer Games Fest hype cycle. And now a bunch of projects dead. So here's my counterpoint. What the frickety frick, I'm trying not to swear, is the point of even having a showcase? Seriously, Microsoft, what is the point when you're just going to just end 9,000 jobs, kill a whole bunch of projects that people were looking forward to, and now they're gone? Never to see the light of day again. This is crazy. Like, it's bad enough. We still need to talk about the Stop Killing Games initiative because we weren't able to do a show last weekend. We already have the Stop Killing Games initiative, right? That's trying to go ahead and give games that always online games that require a server a path to have an end of life that does not require an overlord to maintain it indefinitely. We're trying to find some common ground there. So what do you do about the games that people are looking forward to, you've hyped up, and then you kill? Well, guess what this means now? The next time I see, a new Xbox Presents or whatever the heck they call it, Xbox Showcase, I think it's actually called. What am I going to think the next time an Xbox Showcase comes along? And it's just like, oh, look forward to this, and that. What's the point when, there's a 1 in 5 chance that game is never going to see the light of day? And it's not like these cuts have been uncommon. It's not like this is like some new wave out of Microsoft. They lay off their games division all the freaking time. And we were open to the thought of Microsoft buying Blizzard, because Blizzard is currently just a hot mess of itself and doesn't know how to manage itself. So the thought process is, Microsoft can go ahead and whip them into shape and at least get Bobby Kotick out of there. And thankfully, Kotick's out. He's gone. He's out of Blizzard. His greedy little paws are out of that company, and maybe some healing can happen to that entire franchise. Meanwhile, their new overlords, Microsoft, just chop off limbs and shutter entire studios. I mean that metaphorically, by the way. Microsoft is not actually hacking bodies apart. Just in case someone takes that way too literally. So I would go ahead and say that maybe those games just weren't going anywhere. Maybe it was a fact of just, the projects were too ambitious, or for whatever reason, they just couldn't get off the ground, or they were just doomed projects. There's just too many, and these are just the ones that have leaked. And for crying out loud, it's not like a lot of these projects were just going to be way too ambitious or anything. I mean, Perfect Dark, for crying out loud, all you had to do was just make a first-person shooter in modern graphics. And just remake some familiar guns, which used to be a frickin' stick of butter painted silver. Yeah, there was not a lot of detail to a lot of the Perfect Dark weapons. There really wasn't. What was the Falcon 2? Silver stick of butter. What was the Silence Falcon 2? A stick of butter with a cylinder at the end. What was the Cyclone? A cylinder with a bigger cylinder. They weren't complicated weapons. It's not like you had to go ahead and make like dynamic destructible environments or anything like ultra crazy with like you didn't have to do anything crazy over the top. That project is dead. Why? Who knows? We probably will never know. We'll have some people throwing out things. And, you know, I should also state, these are all just currently rumors. But there are far too many there are too many different sources reporting on these rumors with 99% of the same details matching each other for it to just be one guy spreading false information. There's too many instances of corroborating information. So where does that leave us? Well, all we can do now is wait and see where this all goes. And I'm not gonna lie, I hope that somehow everyone is wrong. Like, I was talking with someone before about the Pal World stuff, and they're just like, oh, no. The Nintendo lawsuit hasn't affected anything. It's just like, okay, either you're wrong or literally every other news outlet in the world is wrong. It's one of the two. I hope every news outlet in the world is wrong, but, you know, I think the only time every news outlet gets everything wrong is either in politics, when they really want it to be something that it's not, or when it comes to predicting a Switch Pro. That's going to do it for me. Get out there and conquer the day.